One of the things I really love about this film is that it plays out like a brilliant piece of theater. It feels like a play, and I think it's interesting that the script was written by Nicole Bethwith, who was a playwright. And I was wondering how that affected your approach to these roles.
Yeah, great scenes, great family dynamic, great characters. And I think Gabby never wanted to make an issue film. She was first drawn to the idea of 3 generations, and at the center of it, we've got Ray's transition, and we're, coming together. We're in conflict at times. It's just like a regular family. It's a slice of life, and of course, the transition makes it a little bit more sensitive. But as Susan has said, desperate, and then that's when the humor comes in.
Does it play in for both of you? A lot of the staging, I think, is very interesting in the film. A lot of the scenes.
In what way?
Well, it just feels like a lot of it is set in this very authentic New York apartment, and I think you could visualize it on a stage in some way. And just
I
when
would
you're
love to be on that stage. I think the house was quite brilliant. The way the set. What designer? What are they called?
Production
designer. Thank you. Because you could see they've been there forever. Forever. It's worn from all of the ins and outs and the graffiti and everything, and you get the sense that they've all been there, separate but together. And now one of the transitions that the whole family's going through is the moving out with her,
breaking out.
the breaking out with her, and so everyone's going to the next level. And I think the house is a great house. That creaky old house was pretty special, and every now and then seeing the musicians, you have some sense that there was a history there, and so the house was very important.
And we are introduced to these characters 6 or 7 years into Ray going through and grappling with everything that comes with transitioning, and I was wondering how you went about establishing that built-in conflict, all of the emotions surrounding it.
Yeah, I mean, well, we talked about how, around what age did Ray change his name, and when did they start using, the pronouns, the he, him, so we wanted to talk about that, but it's nice that I think our film's unique in that way, where they've been living with him for a very long time now, but then it starts where boom, he wants to take the next step and get the testosterone, and so we wanted to create that, and I was always talked about, at least with Ray, he's the most confident of the group. He's the most sure of himself. Actually, he knows exactly who he is, but he just has to find a way for them, his family and people around him, to accept him
to catch
for
up.
him. Yeah.
And I think that she really Elle really invests so much in both the when things go wrong and when things go right, that you see Ray, and that makes you understand that he really does know, and that's really important. There's no doubt where Ray is concerned, and I think that's because Elle invests so much in all of those ups and downs. There's only a few moments where that can happen, and it's really important for the audience to see how clear he is in that knowledge.
The absence of men, particularly fathers, in these women's lives is very interesting, because then you also have someone who's now saying, I identify as male in the family all of a sudden. Can you speak about that?
I guess I say that it's about time this family had a guy, but we're gonna take on a few men by the end of the movie. They seem to all have perked up. I don't know.
I think it was interesting having, because it was a very female set with Susan and Naomi and Gabby, a woman director, and then for me, it'd be like, I'm not playing a female, so that was interesting to feel a lot of female energy, but I wasn't contributing to that.
We had a lot of transgenders on the set, too.
We did, yes, we did.
Yeah, in the crew.
Yeah. That was nice.
Oh, I love the scene where he comes in from the fight and they just don't know how to deal with something that a guy would go through.
Very well.
No, it's putting a Cornish hen on someone's face. It's a great way. Great way to combat a bruise.